Hi, this is me, Helmut Flasch, and this is a continuation of this series, which is a little bit different than my normal marketing series. This is about the current economy and in what mess we're in it, and how marketing can and will help you out of it. But first, and actually more kind of like explaining the bad economy. Okay? Do not necessarily believe me, because obviously I have no background. I have no what you might call it, I don't have any record on predicting a good or bad economy. In fact, I've never studied any of that type of stuff, neither formal nor informal. I have, however, worked in many countries and many continents and have observed something. And over the last few years, I've realized that things are not right. They're just fundamentally not right. Like, you know, any housewife would realize it in her budget. You know, husband brings home less money, she borrows more to feed the kids, and no more money is coming in, and somewhere along the line she will know that things are crashing. By the way, I just want to make you realize that economics is nothing but running a household. It's just a big household when it comes to government, and a not so big one, but than the government, but a bigger one than a household with 2 kids, which would then be a business. All right, so we have the real household, we have businesses in all kinds of size, and we have the government as a big household. And realize why ladies are so good at money in just about all cases. Well, they had to run the household, especially in the old days. Husband went out there shooting, doing things, whatever he was doing to make money or to bring home food. But, you know, that at the time was the economic. You bring home food. She would probably grow some, or he would grow some. Either way, that was the money coming home, the food, the physical food. It didn't come via vias like gold or now via via of all the vias, which is our fiat currencies, which is basically money backed by nothing, piece of paper. Can be worthless tomorrow. Food cannot really be worthless tomorrow. Well, it can get rotten, but still, you get my point. So, husbands brought home food or money, whatever they did, gave it all to the wife, and she budgeted it. And she knew income has to be greater than outgo. I mean, it's simple. It's simple. Income has to be greater than outgo. Now, I shouldn't be talking about, because I've run my household or my business many times with income lesser than outgo, and have violated those rules many times, and hopefully have, you know, grown up one way or the other way. I'm surely growing up now, and yes, somewhere along the line I usually managed to, in the end, keep making more. And make it happening. But what's going to happening now with all the real estate going down? You think the real estate has finished going down? I'm telling you it hasn't. So watch my other videos on this whole subject. There's a bunch of them out there. But let me now tell you how to survive. And I like Mr. Gerald Celente's analogy of, you've got to have something you can produce and try to sell it to the 20% of people out there who probably will have disposable income. They might not spend it as wild as they now do, but they'll have disposable income. And that's the way to go. Now, my take on this is 100% right, and he is 100% right. And let me tell you, it is easier to find yourself a product or service which you can provide than looking for a job. I guarantee you that. Okay? I mean, for that, I am an example. Yes, when I came to the United States, I did find a job right away. But trust me, it is easier to make money on your own. Just as I think, I remember having heard Miss Rose Kennedy telling her son John F. Kennedy, when he wanted to apparently run for vice president, she said it's as easy to lose for vice president than it is for president. Yep. Meaning it's as easy to become the top honcho than to become the second honcho person. I think she's totally wrong. It is much easier to become the top honcho than the second honcho. Much easier. All right. However, have a product. Now, to most people I usually talk to, dentists, doctors, and small business owners, they already have a product in their service. And here's the thing. Let's get rid of a basic misunderstanding in marketing. Marketing isn't advertising. It has its place, advertising. It does. But it's not marketing. Marketing is a whole package. And look at how we marketed 20, 30, 50, 60 years ago. Forget them 20. We didn't 20 years ago. But 40, 50, and 60 years ago. Yes, before my time, I got it. So I'm pulling that out of memory and of books. People actually would get other people to market for them. The modern multi-level marketing. However, I mean, that's just the modern multi-level marketing, selling vitamins or whatever it may be. That way these days, even silver. But, in the old days, it was like that anyhow. You got to get involved in the community for that to happening. Getting involved in the community these days is extremely difficult task to do because we don't have the time. You know, we don't have the time. We can't go out and doing things. And again, getting involved in the community is a major misunderstood by most people, most business people. They think that means joining the Rotary Club. They think that means donating to the baseball club. That means having breakfast meetings and luncheons with the mixer type of things. That means participating in the chambers of commerce. Well, they're all scratching the surface of getting involved in the community, but they're only scratching the surface. They don't even scratch the surface. There's so little. No. Go out there and help your fellow neighbors. Do things. And do things outside and away from your profession. Do things with children. Do things with poor and needy people. Do things with elder people. Things which have nothing to do with your profession most of the time. Doesn't mean you sometimes couldn't, you know, service people in your profession for free who are needy or something. But most of the time, you've got to go involved in the community away from your own profession. And you've got to have a system like for that. Look, 60 years ago, there was no system needed in order to be involved in the community. And that's why doctors and other people, you know, local community businesses, that's how they did it. That's how the ones who knew how to do that and the ones who did that naturally, by the way, naturally, they made it. In fact, let me tell you, Harvard Business School, the exiting dean of the Harvard Business School, I don't know when he exited, a few years ago, I think, he said that one way Harvard has so great people is, of course, number one, good grades. Everybody does that. People must have working experience before they go into the MBA school there, and not just flipping burgers. And the kids must have been involved in community activities. Because if a person not naturally is involved in community activities, he doesn't even deserve to make it. And I believe this is true. That he just won't make it. No, nothing to do with somebody saying deserving or not deserving. It's just not going to happen. You need to learn that. 60 years ago, 70 years ago, this was natural. This was to do. Just like 60 years ago, exercising was natural. When I went to machinery engineering school, I didn't need to do exercise. I went with my bicycle there. 40 minutes of bicycling, one way, 40 minutes back. Always trying to break my own little record. No more gym needed. Got it? Got it? All right. Today, we need to exercise. Up there I have a couple exercise machines and I do my own little push-ups from, you know, you need to physically exercise, otherwise you're not making it because we don't do it anymore. Same with marketing. You've got to get involved in the community. You've got to get yourself a community exercise machine. You need to learn how to do that. Yes, we teach that. Look at many of our other videos because we'll show it there. Give us a call, of course. But ladies and gentlemen, please do not go to sea without lifeboats like the Titanic did. And right now, I am telling you, the economy could possibly and very most likely will crash. The dollar will become worthless. That doesn't mean the world will stop, so that's a good thing. But you got to be a better marketer than you are a professional in no matter what you do, and you better please do that. Please learn that. And what about if I'm totally wrong? And what about if Gerald Celente, Mark Faber, and those type of people, Jim Roger, what about if they're all totally wrong? So what? You just learn how to market and we'll make more anyway. Beautiful, beautiful. Go and learn it. Bye-bye.